Hello, let's do the New York Times Medium Sudoku for June 8th, 2024. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. Also in the description is a link to a video where I go over my systematic method and all my terminology and all the techniques and how they work from fundamental principles. So if I do anything here that confuses you or you're not sure what's going on, definitely check out that video as well. And here I will be following the techniques that I present in that video. And let's get started right now. Okay, so we're going to start with this 9 here. We go band by band, just as a reminder. I do like to give reminders of what we do. And so we look for duplicate 9s. We don't see any. So then we look at the 2 and the 8. Look in here for a 2 or an 8. We do find the 8. So the 8 has a buddy. So we look at how that affects the other box. So these two 8s look into the box like this. This 8 looks up. And so we've reduced 8 to just these two cells within the box. And we use corner marks to remind ourselves of that. So corner marks are always box-centric markings, saying that within that box, these are the cells that digit can be in. So 8 can only be in these two cells. So we corner mark that. All right, and that's it for buddies in this top band. We also want to be on the lookout for filled box rows. We don't have any of those. And any rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer open cells. None of those either. So we can just move on. I'm going to start with this 7, 8. I always start with the box with the fewest givens. We do not have a 7 or 8 over here. So now I can just look at 1, 2, 9. We have a duplicate 1. So these 1s look in here. This one looks up. There's a 1 in one of these two. Any rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer? Nope. Any filled box rows? Nope. Okay, we move on. All right, we'll start with this 2, 3, 4. Each of these has 3 digits in it. So the 2 does have a buddy. We go in numerical order so that we remember which one we were on. So the 2's in one of these two. Then we have the 3. So the 3's in one of these two. The 4 does not have a buddy, though. So nothing to do with the 4. And now we compare these two against each other. We already did the 3, so we need the 5 and the 7. There is no 5, 7 over here. So not a whole lot of buddies today in the bands. Maybe the stacks will be better. No filled box rows here either. No rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer. So we're just blazing through the bands here in under 2 minutes. Now we're going to do the stacks. So I'm going to start with this 2, 8. We do have 2 2s here. And this 2 looks in. And so we can place the 2 in this box. Now, when we place that 2, we want to follow up because we already did this band, but now we have new information. We have this 2 here. It does have a buddy. So those 2s look in, this 2 looks up. We have a 2 in one of these two. That's all there is to follow up with that. We'll continue scanning the stack now. The 8 does not have a buddy anywhere. All right, and we also have 2, 3, 4. We already took care of 2, but the 2 3s do look up. This 3 looks in, putting a 3 in one of these two. The 4 does not have a buddy. Now, any filled box columns? No. Any columns or boxes down to 4 or fewer? No. So still not finding a whole lot here, but we did at least get a digit. Now we're moving on to this stack here. We're going to look at 3, 5, 7. We do have 2 3s here. This 3 looks in. That places this 3. Follow up. We have these 2 3s here. That places this 3. All right, that's a filled box row. So we're going to continue following up with this band. So we want to look for anything in the 2 rows it's not in the 2 boxes it's not in. So first of all, any digits that aren't already in the box. So we're counting the corner marks as well. So we don't care about 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So the 1, 2, 3 don't count. But the 5 and the 9 are interesting. So we'll take them in numerical order. This 5 looks in. And you'll notice these aren't 5 either. And so we can put a 5 in one of these 3. And I am noticing we have this down here. I'll get to that. We're trying to follow up as best as we can, but when there's more than one thing to follow up on, you got to make a choice. And I'm choosing to do this. All right, so we don't want to forget to do any follow-ups, and if we jump around too much, we are going to forget. So I kind of have in the back, this red mark is reminding me that I'm going to go back to that, whereas this is harder to remember that we wanted to go back to that. All right, so now that we've marked these 5s down here, that does something called pointing. So within this box, these corner marks are telling us that the 5 is here, here, or here. And those are the only 3 places it can go. All 3 of those have something in common. They are all in row 6. And so no matter where the 5 ends up, it will also be, it is the 5 for this box, but it'll also be the 5 for this row, meaning the rest of this row cannot be 5. So that's why it's called pointing, because if you drew a line here with like an arrowhead, it would be pointing at the rest of the row, saying no more 5s. So most importantly, this is not 5. And then this 5 looks in here, and so we end up with a 5 in one of these two cells. And actually this 5 looks up, giving us the 5. So we can place the 5. Very nice. We'll get back to this stack later. Just trying to remind ourselves, hey, yeah, we do want to scan this stack for buddies and all that, but again, we can only do one thing at once, and we want to try to keep our focus here. So this 9 looks in as well, putting in 9 in one of these 3, but actually this 9 says one of these 2. That 9 also points, this 9 looks in, putting in 9 in one of these 2. All right, we can still keep following up with this band, and I recommend doing so until it's done, and then we can go and we can follow up with other things. So again, there's almost always more than one thing to look for in the grid. This is where I'm putting my attention. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. We need 4, 6, and 9. So we know the 9's over here. We know this can't be 4. So I'm just gonna, and this can't be, this can't be 6 or 9. So this is a naked single 4. It can't be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So since it can't be 8 out of the 9 digits, it is that 9th digit, the 4. So we can place it. And now this is down to 6, 9. Nice. And that 6, 9 pair does affect the rest of the box, leaving just 3 digits left for this box. This is a naked pair for the box, and what are we going to, we're going to think about what these digits are. So we are missing the 4, the 7, and the 8. So we're looking around for 4s, 7s, 8s that might be helpful. None of them are, so we're just going to fill 4, 7, 8 in with our center marks. And just as a reminder, what our center marks mean is that this cell in the solution will be a 4, 7, or 8. It's a comprehensive list of the digits that we still think could go in the solution of that cell. So we know it's not going to be a 5, right? There's already a 5 in the box. We know it's not going to be 6 or 9 because of the 6, 9 being here. So it's just a running tally of what we've noticed about this cell. Some trivial, some less trivial. All right, so now I think I'm I'm not quite happy with this band yet. We do have this box as well. So we need 6, 7, 8. I see that we have this 7 and this 6, but it's not enough to resolve anything. So we're just going to put 6, 7, 8 and clean it up. So yeah, we have this 8 as well. So that's not 8, that's not 6, that's not 7. Now we notice that this one's not 8, and so that means the 8 is in one of these 2. That is going to point removing 8 from here, leaving 8 in just one of these 2. All right, now I do think I've done what I needed to do with this band. I am going to follow up on this 3 here. We're going to place the 3 here. We don't need to follow up on this stack quite yet, simply because we're going to do this stack very soon. We haven't done it yet. And following up in this band for this 3, there really isn't, because we already knew that was pointing. So there really wasn't anything new we learned from that 3. All right, so that is the follow-up from what we learned doing this stack so far. But because we got a lot more information about this stack, we're just going to start over. So we have 3, 5, and 7. We'll just make sure we covered everything. 3s are done. 5s do look up, putting a 5 in one of these 2. The 7 does not have a buddy. We don't know where the 7 is in this box. All right, we also have 1, 3, 6, 8. So we're going to take these one at a time. We have the 1. This one looks in. That places the 1 here. That displaced a 2 corner mark, meaning we can place the 2 in this box as well. We want to make sure we follow up. We already have all 3 2s, but these 2 1s do look in. This one looks down, putting a 1 in one of these 2. Additionally, by placing these 2 digits, we have reduced this box to 4 open cells. So that would be something we'd normally look at as a follow-up to this band. But I'm going to hold off on that simply because it's also part of this stack that we're already in the middle of scanning. And for this stack, we haven't quite gotten to 4 or fewer yet. So we will get to this box, but there's no reason to look at it exactly this moment. It just adds to the things we have to double check. So we did the 1. Now we're going to do the 3. 3s are done. Now the 6. There is no duplicate for the 6 yet. And then the 8. No duplicate for the 8. So that's what we get out of that. Now, any filled box columns? No. Any columns or boxes down to 4 or fewer? Yeah, we were just looking at this here. So we got to it, and now we don't have to worry about going back to the stack. So we have 1, 2, 3. We need 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm seeing this 4. I'm seeing this 6. I'm seeing this 8. I'm seeing that 6. It's all not quite enough though. So I'm going to put in 4, 6, 8, 9. And then we're going to clean up. So this 6 cleans up that. This 4 cleans up that. This 6 cleans up that. Oh, actually, I didn't notice this. Saw all of them. Yeah, it sees 6, 4, and 9. And so this is a naked single 8. That's quite handy. Lots of follow-up with that there. We can clear out all these 8s. But also now this 8 does make this a 7, which makes that a 6 and an 8. So it cleared out this whole box. This can't be 6 anymore. That leaves just this cell for 6 in the box. This is 4, 5, 9. This bottom one can't be 9, so we'll clear that out. This cell is just done for this column, full house, so we just need this 2 here. And then here we need not 3, we need 4, 7, 9. I don't really see much to do with that, but we do know the 7's up here. All right, this 7 does fall up over here, so we get the 4. These are not 4s. So now we want to follow up with this band for sure, and also this band. So we'll just do this one first since it's up top. So this 4 looks in here, leaving, yeah, so this is a 1, 4, 5 triple just for the row. So that's all we really need to do with that. 1, 4, 5, this isn't 4. We can clear the corner marks. That means this is a triple also for the row or the box now. So we need 2, 6, 9. That's not 2, that's not 9, that's not 6. Okay. So that band's taken care of. Let's take care of this band just to make sure we caught everything. So I'm looking at 2, 4. I'm just going to rescan for buddies again. We have 2, 4, 2, 3, and 4, right? 2s are done, 3s are done. 4 does not have a buddy still. But I am noticing this 4 does something to this box, right? Because we have this formation. And just by noticing this 4 here, we can see that it's not in these 3. So 4 actually ends up in one of these 2 cells here. And that is going to point up, removing 4 from here and the rest of the column. So that's good to notice. We also have the 1, 2, 3, 6. So the 1s we already have marked. The 2s are done. The 3s are done. The 6s we do not have marked yet. So we can put the 6 down here. All right. Other things to follow up here. We do have this filled box row, but there's not much to do with it because this box we already know is just down to a 4, 9 pair. So we also have this row is down to 4 open cells. So we can think about that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5, 7, 8, 9. This cell can't be 5. So we know the 5 is limited to these 3 in this row. And so the kind of point of this here is that we actually see that 5 is now, because you can actually see this 5 look in, and these are not 5 either. So 5's limited to these 2, and that joins the 6. We have the 5 and the 6 both corner marked in the same 2 cells. And so that causes a hidden 5, 6 pair. And again, I go over this in much more detail in the video I link in the description. So definitely check that out if you want a reminder of how these work in more detail. So now we know this is 5, 6. That means this is 4, 9 for the rest of the row. And this 9 tells us the order. This is the 4 and this is the 9. That gives us the 4 here. Very, very powerful there. So besides the 5, that's why we think first. Anyway, we can follow up on this stack because it kind of finishes off the whole, almost the whole box there. We're left with this 4, 7 pair. All right, we were thinking about this row. We can also think about other things, but by thinking about the 5, we were able to just notice the 5s are over here, right? So we want to think about the digits first because we can notice things more easily. We also need 7, 8, and 9. I'm not seeing a whole lot with 7, 8, 9, other than this 9 looking down does put the 9 in one of these 2. So we actually know the 5 and 9 are here. This 9 is going to point in, along with this 9, putting the 9 up here. So this is not 5 or 9. So this is only 7, 8. When I pencil that 7, 8, I notice it joins this 7, 8 to form a naked pair, meaning the rest of the column cannot be 7, 8. So there's a lot left in this column, but we might be able to think about what it means for like these not to be 7, 8. I am trying to think about that. So I'm going to mark this cell because we know this box needs 1, 7, 8, 9, and this cell can't be 7, 8 because of the naked 7, 8 pair. So this is only 1, 9. So I can mark that. We also know these aren't 7. Now, unfortunately, we don't know much more about 7s in the area. So we're just going to have to hold on to that and hope we remember. We know this isn't 1, so we can actually fill 7, 8, 9 here. And this can't be 8, so we can fill 1, 7, 9 here. Saying the wrong things. We also know this can't be 9, and this also can't be 1. And so this is down to 7, 8 as well. Basically, this digit, if you want to think about it this way, whatever this digit ends up being, it will go here in this box, right? Because we can't, whatever this digit is, if it's a 7 or an 8, imagine both scenarios, either way, it removes that digit from these 3 cells. So if it's a 7, it removes 7 from these 3 cells. The box still needs a 7. The 7 ends up here. Otherwise, it's an 8. It removes 8 from these 3 cells. This box still needs an 8. The 8 goes here. So we know these 2 are the same digit as each other. And so that's another way to think about how this is 7, 8, this is 7, 8. So we're left with 5, 7, 8, 9 here. This can't be an 8. In fact, we can just fill all of them. 5, 7, 8, 9. There's something looking at each. 8, 9, and 7. All right. So I think this band is taken care of for now. Let's rescan this stack just to make sure we didn't miss anything there. The 4 is new, so we have these 2 4s. 4 is up here somewhere. We also know these can't be 7, 8, which might be interesting in the future. Let's see. Well, okay, so with 5 digits left, if 7 and 8 are both removed from here, the consequence of that is that there are only 3 digits left for here. And so that's going to be a triple. Well, let's think about that. The math seems to work, but let's think about that. So what can actually go here? We could put a 1. We can't put a 2. We could put 3 and 4, which we have marked here. We can't put 5. We can put a 6. Okay, so what did I do wrong with my math? Maybe I counted wrong. 5 digits, can't be 7, 8. Oh, but it already couldn't have been 8. Is that the reason? So it should have been 1, 3, 4, 6, 9. Right, the 7, 8s are already included in the fact that we had 5 left. Duh. Sorry, yes, we can't do that math. So these are down to 1, 3, 4, 6, 9. Okay, I'm seeing this can't be 6, 9, so this is down to 1, 3, 4. But I'm not going to fill the rest of these because they don't see any... I mean, this sees a 1 and a 9, but it's not good enough. But this is down to 1, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. That was totally thinking about that wrong. I apologize. Yeah, the 7, 8 was already baked into the fact that we had 5 remaining, so we can't double up the 7, 8 being removed from those. All right. I was like, how could that possibly end up a triple? That doesn't sound right. So going through the exercise helped me recenter. So we did get those 4s, though. That's quite nice. I don't think there's anything else to find in that stack. This stack, definitely not. Let's scan this stack finally. We haven't scanned it yet. So we have this 9 here. We already noticed that the 9's limited here. It's also limited here. We have the 3, 7, 8. So the 2 3s do look up. This 3 helps out, putting a 3 up here somewhere. We have the 7. Doesn't really help. We have the 8, which doesn't really help. Okay. So that's it for duplicates in this stack. Is there anything else? Any columns or boxes that are restricted? Not that I can see. We already have a lot of it penciled anyway. Okay. So now we have finished going through all our bands and stacks. We followed up as best as we could. There might have been something we missed. But what I'm going to do now, because the puzzle's not done, is I'm going to go box by box. The most important thing I'm looking at is my corner marks, and I'm making sure that I respected them. I have 3 and 4 corner marked here. So what does that mean for a 3 and 4 in the rest of the box? We can't have it. 3 and 4 for the rest of the column, we can't have it. And sometimes we accidentally will center mark a cell with too many because we didn't notice the various corner mark restrictions. So that's something we want to pay attention to. We also want to pay attention to how things from both the band and the stack are looking into that specific box. So for example, we know that this column and this row are completely open. So we want to focus on this 2 and 5 here. We focus on the 2, 5. The 2 is already placed in the box. We can also focus on we have this 7, 8 pair here. So 5 and 7 are the interesting ones here because they can't be here. And then we just look in this row for 5s or 7s. And we do notice we have the 5. So we have this 5 and this 5 looking in. And that does restrict 5 to these 2. That can be marked. And what's nice about a marking like this, even though it doesn't point, it doesn't really do much, at the very least, once one of them gets eliminated, we'll know to place the other 5. But also if we can limit another digit to just these 2, like maybe we limit the 7 at some point that way. Like if a 7 gets placed here, for example, then we end up with a hidden pair, which is also powerful. But we don't have any of that. We're going to move on. This box is already fully marked. We can skip it. This box here, definitely not fully marked. We want to respect the 3 and the 8. Make sure we're doing that. We do see these 3s line up. We already have a 3 here. The 8, we already basically respect that. That's fine. We check for 8s lining up. We already have an 8 here. So with just a single given, it's really hard to find anything like crossing through. We would have seen that by duplicates in the band or stack already. So we don't really want to look at anything there right now. This box we already looked at. Just make sure we respect the 6, 9, and 7, 8 pair. We do. This box here, we've got the triple here and the triple here. They're not resolved or anything like that. So nothing really to look at there. This box here, we do have the 1 and 9 cornered. We also have this 5, 6 pair. We want to make sure we're respecting all that. We do. Everything's marked up though, so there's not really much to notice. We do see that 8's in one of these 2. It would be interesting having that line up with these, but this 8's already here. We also have the 7. Okay. So, no, do we have a 7? Well, we know that the 7 looks up. We already took a look at that. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing to see there. This box is done. This box, again, just make sure the 5, 9 are respected. Okay, so there's nothing to see with internal boxes. Usually we don't make it this far in a medium, so I'm missing something subtle. I honestly don't know what I'm missing. So we're going to keep looking. So what we're going to do is now we're going to look, again, we're going to go box by box. And feel free to combine these if you want, but I like in the medium solves to do it one at a time, just so you know, like, okay, we're focused on this thing right now, and you know you're looking for the same things as I am. So now I'm going to look externally. So we're going to pay attention to the givens in the box, and sometimes an effect that the corner marks might have as well. But we're going to pay attention to that. And we're going to pay attention specifically to how they affect the rest of the band or the stack. So for example, we have 2, 8 here, right? This row already has an 8, but it doesn't have a 2 yet. So actually what I missed is that these 2's buddy up, honestly. And so I don't know, I missed it this entire time. I'm sorry, I could have seen when I followed up with this band at some point, or when I placed this 2 that we had the buddy. But at this point, I noticed it actually because this 2's not here, and this 2 looks up, putting it not here. So we can place the 2 here, and I apologize for missing that for so long. I do miss things sometimes, I'm not perfect. Anyway, placing that 2 in this box or this row, see, and that's what's helpful. If you get stuck, if you miss something, look at things in different ways, pay attention to the givens you've got, pay attention to the information you've already placed, and eventually you will see the thing you're missing. So this 2 gets placed, we get the 9, 6, and 2 there. This 9 gets cleared out, no more corner mark there, meaning this is the only place for 9 left in the box. We can place the 9. All right, very nice. What else can we do with this? So we got the 2. The 2's and the 9's are done in this stack. The 2's are done in this band. We do have a buddy 9 here. So I didn't scan this band is what happened. So we need to rescan this band for duplicates. So we do have the 2 9's here. That does put a 9 in one of these 2 cells. Yeah, let's rescan this band then. I feel like I missed some stuff. So let's look at 2, 8 here. The 2's are done. The 8's are marked. We've got the 2 and the 9 here, so the 9's okay. So we're done with scanning it. This row is down to 4 digits. We can think about it. And in fact, I'm already noticing this 6, 7 here. The row needs a 6, 7. So actually what we can do is, let's just think about all the digits we need though. We need the 1, 4, 6, 7. So yeah, this can't be 1 either. So this is a naked single 4 because it can't be 1, 6, or 7. That gives us the 5, 1, and 4 here. This 4 clears 4 out of here, leaving a triple behind. We need the 1, 6, and 7. And remember, we had this 7, 8 pair, so this can't be 7. This can't be 1. All right, with that triple, this 1, 6, 7 triple here, it means that we can't put 1, 6, or 7 in the rest of the box. So this can't be a 1, actually. And we can fill the rest of this box. In fact, it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 9, which is all corner marked. So we know this is 3, 4, 9. We know this is 5 only, and this is 5, 9. So this is a naked single 5. It can't be 1 because of the triple. It can't be 2, 3, 4. It is a 5. It can't be 6 or 7 because of the triple. It can't be 8, and it can't be 9. So it is a naked 5 now. That places the 9, leaving behind a 3, 4 pair. That 3, 4 pair is going to remove 3, 4 from the rest of the column, but it looks like we don't need to. This 5 looks down, resolving this 5, 6 pair. This 9 is removed. There's still 2 places for 9, but we do get the 9 here as well, because we got this 6. So 6 and 9. That removes this 9, leaving just this cell for 9, leaving just this cell for 1. We also get, this 6 gives us the 1 here. We get the 7 to finish the column. We get the 6 to finish that triple. All right, very nice. So it was just this band I was not paying close enough attention to. And it looks like that's enough to finish this puzzle. With this many givens, and we're looking, we don't have anything resolving right now. I'm just going to look at what this box needs. That's usually the best way to kind of finish that up. When we have just one box left to pencil, this box is going to finish the puzzle for us. So the box does need a 1. And we can see this one looking in, this one looking in. So 1 is in one of these 2. And I'm going to use center marks as I go. This one also, I didn't notice that, sorry. So I'm going to use center marks as I go because I'm going to be ending up center marking the whole box. So we do need a 1. That places the 1 here. We have the 2. We need a 3. The 3's are in one of these 2. We have that marked already. We have a 4. We need a 5. So this 5 looks in. Any other 5's helping out? Yeah. So 5 ends up in one of these 2. We need a 6 in the box. This 6 looks in along with this 6, putting a 6 exactly here. This 6 also helps. So 6's see all of these. That places the 6, and then that places the 5. So we have 5, 6 placed. That gives us the 7. Just remember our center marks aren't done up here. 8 and 5. We get the 8 and the 7, 8 and 7. All right. That 8 looks up, removing that 8, placing the 8 and the 3 for corner marks. I was using the corner marks, which is fine. Don't use the center marks if you're doing this. Right, we have the 4 and the 3, the 7 and the 4, and then this sells the 7, and we're done. All right, so yeah, I think that took longer than it needed to. I think it's good to see when I get stuck, what strategies do I use, right? And I got stuck because I was just failing to scan something that I should have scanned a while ago. As soon as I placed this 2, I should have scanned it. And that would have caused a cascade in this band, getting us a whole bunch of stuff that was useful. But because I didn't scan it, I missed it. We went through the whole puzzle. I was still missing it. I went through all the boxes. I still missed it. I went through all the boxes again, looking very carefully about how the givens are affecting things externally. Finally, I saw it. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you. I'm sure I am not the only one this happens to, where you're just missing something. And so having strategies in your toolbox, having tools in your toolbox, I suppose, for what to do when you're stuck is very, very helpful. So hopefully that helps you. And if it did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.